Hello, welcome to another episode of Cullen on Film, episode 62, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube right now, and we're here with Yesi Rodriguez. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Chris?
Not too bad. Just it's been a little crazy couple weeks there, but it kind of relaxed a little bit more now. St. Patrick's Day was yesterday, so after that, kind of relaxed a little bit. What about you? How you doing?
I'm
What's
good.
that?
I'm good. I did not celebrate St. Patrick's Day because I just didn't. I don't celebrate drinking holidays very often.
No. But we had some corned beef and stuff. Not too much going on, but a little bit. So just to do something because it's been a little crazy lately. And bars around here are starting to open up. I don't know about you. Around your area, they starting to open up more?
I know that some places that are local are open, but as far as I know, I don't think the hours have changed yet. So
No.
I guess we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, we'll see, because we're trying to get the Brightside Tavern going soon. So that festival, I think we're going to have that in May. So I believe you have. I don't know which one you have it in, but I know you have a new film that we'll talk about in a little bit. But I'm not sure if it's in the next one, or I think it's going to be the one that's going to be in August. So we pushed the March one to August, and
I'm
August
not
we should be.
sure because I feel like everything's kind of a little off track since COVID. Like, I have a film festival that I submitted to last year that they're joining both of their year's festivals for like this year now because they had to postpone.
So that's a lot of movies.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. So at least I know Garden State is this weekend. It's going to be the first one, kind of like sort of back. It's like half online and half back, so that's a good sign. So we'll see from there. We'll see. So let's go all the way back from the beginning. And what got you interested in the entertainment industry? I guess you started out first more acting, and then you went other ways, right? Or is it like modeling? What did you start out first with?
Well, before I tell you what I started first, my interest in the entertainment industry was existent my entire life. Like, I was a child that was in drama club and singing all the time and like posing in front of cameras and doing stuff like that. I was always doing that, like as a small little child. I just didn't really know what I was doing yet. But yeah, I was always interested, for sure. That was my dream since I was like probably like 6 years old. And then as far as like how I actually started, I did start with acting, and then but it was like very, very early on in my career that I started doing modeling stuff. At first I did it because I wanted pictures to promote myself as an actor. So I was like, oh, by doing modeling, I can get like, like headshots, or like I can meet photographers. It seemed like a good idea initially for like building material to promote myself and to get myself out there. And it kind of worked because then shortly after that, I got cast in like 2 projects off of like pictures I had taken from one of my modeling sessions.
Wow.
And then it kind of kept like spiraling and expanding, and I don't know, it's just all kind of very interestingly like melded together.
Absolutely. And then you started acting. Did you start with short films, or did you do like commercials or TV first? Or
so actually the first film I ever did was a short film, and my cousin was studying directing at the time at Montclair University, and she cast me in like a supporting role for her film. That was like the very, very first role I did. But the second role that I did was actually pretty random. I found it on Mandy.com, which is usually for like crew, not even for actors.
Yeah.
But I found it was a feature film, and they were looking for a very specific type of character. And I submitted, and they hired me off of that. And I barely had a resume. I barely had like professional headshots. I just had like some basic stuff that I had put together, and yeah, they hired me from that. That was a feature that I did, which I don't think ever dropped, or if it did, I haven't seen it. But it's crazy because there was actually like big actors in that one.
That happens sometimes. But did you ever get to see the little part, or no, not at all?
No, I didn't get to see it. But like my acting partner
Sometimes
for
they're
that,
out
which
there.
was my second movie ever,
Yeah.
was Elvis Nolasco, and he's been in like American Crime. He was in Clockers. He's worked with Spike Lee a bunch, and also there was another big name in it. The star of Machete.
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
blanking his name right now. He was also in
yeah.
it. So it was like, it
Wow.
was really like very strange because this first time that I got like cast in a film outside of like my cousin casting me, they were like talking about, oh yeah, when we have the red carpet, oh yeah, we should introduce her to Spike. Yeah, you'll like Spike. And I was like, oh, this is
It's
interesting.
it's got to be out there somewhere. Somewhere it's got to be out there.
Yeah, I'm
Sometimes,
sure it is. I just
sometimes
hadn't
many years
seen
later.
it.
I'll never forget because I had a video store when I was younger. But it was when people's careers went big, like Renee Zellweger and what's his face, Mr. Dazed and Confused. Why am I forgetting his name right now? All right. Well, Matthew McConaughey. They did a bit like a bad version of it was like what was it called? Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something, and it was like the fifth or sixth or seventh one, and it was never got released. Never got released. But then when they made it big, they put it straight to video, and they tried to stop it. They tried to stop it because they were famous, and then this crappy version of this movie came out and it went right to video, and people watching it going, "Oh, it was so horrible. They were so bad in it." So it hurt their career.
Right.
So
yeah. Well,
forget that.
hopefully stuff I did in the past doesn't ever come back to
It
haunt
just
me.
goes away. No, so and you've been doing pretty steady stuff ever since, right? It's been pretty good.
Yeah. It's just I feel like I think that part of it is that I have always been like hyper aware of the fact that in addition to an art form, this is also a business, the entertainment business. And so I think I've just made a lot of really good relationships along the way that have led to like different opportunities, and I've been able to take advantage of those opportunities. And I don't know, I guess I always try to give my best, and the universe and the people I work with compensate me for it by recommending me to other people, and it's great. I've gotten a lot of work, and sometimes I just get work from recommendations. Like most of the time I don't even audition.
Yeah, you learn to promote yourself. You sell yourself, so you are a business person in that part right there. So
right.
You got to learn all that. You got to learn how to do that. So and just stay at it, and that's like the only real way to stay at it and keep going, right?
Right.
So
and in my case, I take on like a million different projects at a time, and that works out for me.
So when I know you were working on a bunch of films, when did you start like? Because I've seen you on some sets and learning behind the scenes. Then you start doing some producing and writing yourself. When did you start doing behind the scenes work?
I would say that the first time that I did behind the scenes work was probably the first time. Hold on. It's hard.
Did you write first? Did you write first, or did you just do production work first? Or was it your writing first?
Well, I've been writing my entire life also. I used to write a lot of like short stories, and I used to write a lot of poetry growing up. I also wrote songs. So at some point, I just was like, all right, I have to learn how to do the writing thing within screenplays because I'm doing so much film work that it just doesn't make sense that I want to play all these different kinds of characters that don't exist for me, and I have this ability to write them, so I should just write them.
Yeah.
But so I think the first script that I wrote was for Complexity. I was the co-writer for that, and that was because I got cast for that, and then I started having a conversation with the creator of the show. And so we started having a back and forth dialogue, and she really liked a lot of my ideas and like my perspective. And so we kind of like took some of the ideas that already existed, put them aside, and then like wrote our own thing together in collaboration. And then we picked out the best parts of everything and put it together. And that was like the first time that like it was great that was the first time that I did a script because I wasn't doing it by myself. So that transition from being a different kind of writer into being like a screenwriter felt more guided and less free falling.
During all this COVID time, how did you balance that out? Were you able to get some work? Did you do stuff online? Did you write?
I've done all of that during COVID.
Mhm.
So like I worked on like one bigger production. Well, not bigger, but it was, well, yeah, I guess bigger. It's still technically a short film, but it's like it's a longer short film. It's probably in like the 30 to 40-minute range.
No.
And I had a substantial role in that one, and that one was something that I got cast off of because two different people recommended me for the role. So
Oh.
then I spoke to the director and we hit it off, and like I sent him my work, and then he decided to go ahead and cast me. And then some of the other work that I did was like I did my own film as well, and then I
Yeah.
did a couple of like virtual theater productions, and I've done so much writing this year. It's like I have so much stuff sitting in my computer that I'm revising or working on, or different stages of writing.
So you're ready to go to make some more films.
Yeah.
That's it. Once we get out of this, it'll be exciting. I think there's going to be a lot going on once we next. I think couple more months. I think it's going to go a little crazy.
Yeah, we'll see how the world handles coming back from COVID.
Yeah. Have you been on a set that has all the COVID stuff on it?
Yes.
Does it look a little crazy?
It was like, it was interesting in that like they were giving out masks all the time. Like they came around giving us fresh masks, or they'd come around with hand sanitizer and like pump our hands with hand sanitizer. Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. I don't think it was too different. Like I feel like there's still a way to kind of be social while wearing a mask and, respecting each other's physical boundaries. And then the only
You're
big
freezing up a little bit
change I
there.
saw was like having like a COVID. Oh, sorry. Let me check my internet
Little
connection.
bit freezing.
I'm on my phone. No.
Phone should work better. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just it was raining all day.
I
Maybe
think
it's storms and
it's
stuff.
raining.
Yeah.
So the internet connection's been a little weird.
Mm.
But yeah, so like the main change I saw was they were giving out masks, they were doing the hand sanitizer, they had a COVID compliance officer who was like coming around making sure surfaces were wiped and stuff. But other than that, like from the acting perspective, it didn't feel too different.
Yeah. I know I was hearing all these different types of stories on short films and features and TV. TV is a little different how they're doing it, but it's getting done. Shows are coming out, they're producing, they're filming, and they're editing it. So it's happening. Everyone's starting to deal with it. So it took a while, but it seems to be going, which is a good thing. And so why don't we talk a little bit about your newest short that's out there right now? It's in a bunch of film festivals, and you're waiting on some. I know I've seen it at festivals before, so I know you got to see it. I always ask that question: did you get to see it on the big screen before? And I know you did. Well, during, right? It was during all this, but you got to see it in the theater. Was
You're
it?
talking about Notice Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were able to see it in TNEC, right?
Yes.
Which was a good screening.
That was
It's nice.
like a special screening. It was kind of our premiere. It was,
Yeah, you just finished it, I believe, right? At that time.
Yeah. We had just kind of like wrapped up the loose ends, and then after that, we still did the photo shoot for the poster was like a week or two after that even.
Oh.
So it was fresh off the cutting room floor, like put it out there.
That was good because and then I don't know, did it get to play anywhere else? Because I think that was it. I think that was the last of the film festivals.
Yeah, that
unless
was
it's online.
the last of things for a little while. So no, it hasn't screened anywhere else. It's been submitted to a lot of different places. A couple of places I have a good feeling to get into. Yeah, so that one was interesting because that was me and Larry were both acting in it, and we were both like the only crew members.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
it was tough. It was also, it's like a 14-minute film, and we filmed it all in
Hmm.
one day. It was 3 locations. We also had one other actor, Alexandra,
Yeah.
and yeah, and so like it was just, I don't know, it was kind of crazy, but it was great.
Did you film it during when COVID started? So you were filming during this, right?
Yeah,
So it
we
was
filmed it during
it's been a
COVID.
year now. So
Yeah, we filmed it during COVID.
yeah.
Everyone got tested.
Mm.
I felt like that was really important because a lot of the scenes were close proximity.
Mm.
Uh, Alexandra and I had a kiss. Larry and I were like this close to each other for like 90% of it. So it just made sense to make sure we were following precautions and trying to be safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's another
And
reason we didn't bring more people on in terms of like the crew. So we
yeah,
just kind of ended up working a lot harder to keep the set really, really small.
was it? I guess it was pretty tough, right? But like, if you did it again now, if you did it like tomorrow with 3 people, you think you'd handle it a little bit easier since you already gone through it and you kind of know what to do with just a couple people?
I feel like what made it difficult was less about I think it was less about knowing what to do, although obviously there was an element of that. There's always an element of that no matter what process or what stage you're
Mm-hmm.
at. I think in filmmaking there's always some like discovering that happens. But I think that like what really made it hard was just like how much physical work was involved, and also the film is very physical. At least for me it was. Like I was tied up for half of it. So that wasn't exactly comfortable. So I was like, oh, I'm out of the thing now. Well, let me go carry all this stuff. It was just kind of like physically tiring as an actor, and then I was also doing crew stuff, so that made it like just harder for me at that moment. It was
Yeah.
just also a really long day. I don't think we realized that it was going to end up being as long a film as it ended up being.
Yeah, usually they're a lot shorter when you do the 1 day ones, right? It's 14
Yeah,
minutes
usually
for
it's
the one.
not a 14-minute film for a one day, no.
But no, I got to see it and turned out really well. So hopefully you'll start hearing on Fest soon, and I guess hopefully there'll be ones where you can go to instead of just online. But if
Yeah,
there
I'm
is
really
some
grateful for
online,
that. It kind of sucks.
I've been talking to a lot
Yeah,
of
I mean,
filmmakers. Oh, you froze there.
I feel like there's some advantages to online for sure.
Hmm. I know a lot of
Sorry, am I
people
still
get to see
frozen?
your. Yeah, well, you're good now. It's coming and going every so often. Uh, but you, what was I going to say about that now? So I guess because a lot of people will see your film. I remember last year we already did a year Hang On to Your Shorts online, and a lot of people were watching the films. So a lot more people got to see the films instead of like just 30, 40 people in the theater. Thousands saw the films. So that was a good advantage. So
Yeah,
that,
it's
that
definitely more reach. You can share it with people from all over the world
mhm.
versus just people who are in a certain area.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So that might be staying in a lot of fests though, for at least for a while. They might be doing both. So they might be able some fests. I know Garden State's doing both. They're doing online and here. So that might stick around um, for for some fest, for some big fest actually. Like I know what was it? Sundance just was online. So that was pretty crazy.
That is
But
crazy.
you want that experience to go to Sundance though. So that I think a lot of people missed out on that. But we'll see next year. Hopefully, it'll come back, and
I
we're
think
hoping
the
that.
networking aspect of it gets a little bit
Mhm.
lost in the
Yeah,
online forum. I mean, sure, you can use it as a form of promotion, but the only people you're probably going to reach are people you already have access to.
yeah. The cool thing is though, I get to talk. I've been doing this for a year, and I get to talk to every filmmaker. So all the film festivals, I've been interviewing a ton. I interviewed you at one of them, I believe. Right?
Yes,
We did it once.
you did for Hang On to Your Shorts.
Yeah. So we're doing that again, and I'm doing it for Brightside, doing it for Point Lookout. So that's all coming up. So we could probably use this, use this for all your stuff if you get in any of those festivals. I believe that it is playing in those festivals. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of left making the choices of the festivals and doing the program directing, and now I just do the hosting stuff.
Oh, well, you still got to put in a good word for me then.
I put in good words, but I don't make the choices anymore. Actually, it's a time thing too, because I used to watch every single film. I don't watch any films anymore. I'm sorry. I don't. I'll watch it at the fest, but I won't make the choices and the voting. I kind of moved away from that, and I like the hosting. I like podcasting. I like talking to filmmakers, and I enjoy it more. But
That's
then,
okay. I mean, you have
yeah.
to find what you enjoy doing for sure. You don't want to get stuck doing something that you're not enjoying and somebody else maybe enjoys more.
Yeah, and it's like doing it for so many years, and now teaching and getting, so it's just crazy. So too much stuff. You can't. I've learned. I always wanted to do more and more. Like you too. You just keep doing more and more and more, and then you got it. There's a breaking point where you're like, I can't do this anymore, and I got to. If I want to do this, you got to balance it out. How do you balance it out? Because it's not easy.
Well, to be honest, I have a very limited social life. That's usually how I balance it out.
I understand that. Yeah.
I don't
Right.
I don't do like regular human things of hanging out with my friends all the time. My poor friends like barely ever hear from me, unfortunately. And it's just because I'm always like hyper focused on a million different projects that I've got in different stages, whether it's like music projects, acting projects, filmmaking projects, writing projects. Like I'm always just like splitting myself up into different parts and doing different things. And yeah, I think my social life is probably what suffers the most. So hopefully
Everyone's social
people,
life right now is horrible. Right? You're not the only right now. Everybody.
yes, but I mean, like I even forget to text people back. Like
Oh yeah. Well, okay.
not I'm not very good with communication sometimes. Like I remember, I don't know, it's just weird. It's like I'm like, answer back this text message or keep working on this script.
Mm. I get it. I get it. I totally get it. But I definitely understand. I don't know if not everybody will, but like in this world and what we do, I definitely understand that. So uh, also, you've done. I've seen you in a lot of short films and features and shows and all that stuff. But also, um, you're bilingual, so I've seen you in Spanish stuff too.
Yes.
And so you jumping back and forth. So you're doing everything.
Well, actually, so like one of the last productions I did right before COVID hit was for a TV series.
Mhm.
And I'm one of the lead actors in that series. We're actually right now we're negotiating distribution and stuff. But so I'm one of the lead actors in that, but I was also the assistant director and I was also a producer.
Wow,
So that was also a lot of work.
that worked.
But also like really fun. Oh, and I also did like there's like certain parts that are in English, but it was the director is Spanish, so I had to like translate a lot of things from English into Spanish, and then I did like a lot of like subtitle stuff too as part of that.
Hmm. Well, and that was, did you do that here in the East Coast, like or is that somewhere else? Was that like New York, New Jersey area?
Yeah, so all of the USA parts were filmed in New York and New Jersey, and then there was parts of it that were filmed in Mexico and parts of it that were filmed in Peru.
No. Have you traveled to South America for a few things, or do you mostly do it here, even if it's in Spanish or?
Even if it's in Spanish, I do usually do it here. I was supposed to travel for this very same project last June, but because
Yeah.
of COVID, that obviously got postponed. But we were planning on continuing to film the next 6 episodes in Peru. So right now
Wow.
that's a little bit on hold. Now we're just trying to sell the episodes that we have done in order to get funding to film the next 6 episodes.
Oh yeah.
And for those I would be traveling to Peru if that's allowed.
That'd be great. Yeah. It's kind of fun to do all that and travel. I miss travel. I miss travel a lot, but especially in this world of making films and everything. Have you gone? I know. Have you been down to like the Carolinas or Atlanta at all? Because there's a lot of filming going on down there. Have you ever done a film down in that way?
I actually haven't done any filming there. I have family in North Carolina, so sometimes I go to North Carolina. And I have family in Florida too, but I've never done any filming in the US outside of the East Coast. I mean, I've auditioned for a ton of LA stuff, but I've never gone to Atlanta or anything for filming yet.
But that's also, you know, yeah, but for like people like, you know, I have students and they're getting into this and they're like, oh, should I go to LA, go to New York, go here, go there? I'm like, you can do well in New York and constantly work. I mean, there's TV and film and it never stops. So you can constantly be doing stuff here. You don't have to go to LA. You don't have to go down to Atlanta. You can stay here and keep busy, you know. A lot of
I do
actors
see
do.
myself maybe eventually ending up in LA if, you know, the cards fall that way. But I don't really, I feel like going right now would be kind of a waste because I have such a network up here in New Jersey and New York that it doesn't really make sense to leave unless I have something being offered to me somewhere else.
And there's probably more productions East Coast right now going on than West right now. To be honest, probably more going on. And I know a lot of people that hightailed it from LA to Canada, and they're filming in Vancouver. So there's quite a lot going on there. A lot of less people around there. So they were, I just, a lot of films going on right now in Canada. Oh, I lost you there. I froze a little bit. You still there? You there? I heard you. You still there?
Yeah, 1 second. My internet just did a thing. I'm gonna see if I can like just figure out what's happening.
There you go. You can.
I think it's fine now. It was just
If you click on and off, you're still frozen, but you hear your voice.
Oh, weird.
There you are. Now you are. Maybe it just had to catch up. You're fine now. You're fine now.
So weird.
That's the one thing I did. I had internet troubles a while back because in doing this, something happened with my downloads and uploads. So I had Comcast come out here and they fixed it, and they for the same price or a little bit more, they jacked up my speed. So I got really good internet now, and I'm like, it's more money, but I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's awesome. So finally got good internet for the last 3 months.
I'm supposed to have some of the best internet. I mean, I have Verizon, but
yeah, it happens. It happens, especially with storms, and it is a storm out, so that happens. So, but yeah, I've noticed that because I happened. But StreamYard is very good. It really does a good job. So it's better than I personally think it's better than Zoom because Zoom does freeze up a lot, but sometimes you're talking and your voice isn't going with your mouth. So it's something that I've been promoting. I was actually teaching the kids StreamYard the other day in class, and Ming, who's usually with us, he popped in the class and was talking to the kids. So it was fun. It's always fun to do that. So now we can do that. We could have guests not come to the school in the classroom. We can bring you into the classroom through this. So that's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, this is a great way to connect with people located anywhere.
So you said you've done some readings online, some like scripts or plays or something. How did that go?
Yeah, I've done a few virtual plays. I also directed a virtual play, and then I've done some readings also. Yeah, it's been good. I actually did a fashion show online too. That was interesting.
Wow. Yeah. How'd you do that?
It was really interesting. They had like a concept, and the models had to like come up with outfits and like makeup, do their own makeup, do their own outfits, find a space, basically like set it up for themselves, and then they would introduce you, have you talk a little bit about yourself, and then like have you like do a walk around.
And then did you have hosts, like people like in the corner like hosting it?
Yeah, they had there's a panel of judges. I was invited to do this thing, and then then I found out the day of that it was a competition. I was like, oh, I guess we're being judged. Okay.
Well, that's fun. That's something different to do. It's kind of cool. All these new things that people are kind of coming up with to do to be able to do all this kind of stuff. I've seen people do script readings and kind of like dress up and kind of play the parts, and they've been edited so like they're kind of filming it in a way. So I've seen those kind of things, and a lot of festivals have been taking like radio you would perform the script on just audio. So it'd be a
Yeah, yeah,
podcast.
yeah. I've
But
seen there's like competitions for playwrights and screenwriters to submit their scripts for that.
yeah. And then they just read it, but they act it out. They make noises. Like if you're opening a door, you'll hear the door. So it's like old time radio. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should do that. And I was like, nah, I don't know. I don't want to just listen to that. I'd rather just listen
It's
to
pretty much
people
like voice
talking.
acting.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of cool, I think, because I did it. I wanted to put in a festival had it said podcasting episodes. So I'm like, oh my god, I have a lot of people. I'm going to submit some of these. And then as I was filling it all out, they were like, no, like podcast audio, but it's not really podcasting. It's acting and basically a radio
Right.
show. So like the old days in the 1930s.
Hey, all of that's a lot of fun and it's really safe. So
Yeah, you could
I'm
do
for
it.
it.
I
Unfortunately,
could
things like internet play a role, but other than
yeah,
that,
I could just see people like knocking on doors, knocking on walls, making all these sounds. I think it'd be funny though. It'd be a lot of fun to do. I think so. We'll
yeah, I
see.
think you'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah, do like a Larry Rosen horror killer film on audio tape. It'll be interesting. That would be
So what
funny.
did you think when you saw Notice Me? Now I'm interviewing you. What did you think when
Yeah.
you saw Notice Me and you saw Larry's character in it?
It was different. It was crazy. Well, I seen him in films where he was kind of like that, but I think he was even sicker, scarier. I think you know what? I was kind of in shock because I saw him something a long time ago where he was kind of like that, and then you forget about it and see other stuff, but then you're watching it, and I was kind of creeped out, to be honest.
Well,
I remember.
That means we did a good job.
Yeah, because I remember seeing it, like not expecting that at all. Like just saying, "Oh, just expecting, it's Larry. Let's see Larry," and then you too. It was just. It was supposed to be kind of disturbing. I would hope, right?
Yeah, the aim was definitely supposed to be disturbing.
Because I was like, yeah, this is good. So I remember that. And then that was almost oh my gosh, that was like September. Right?
I think it might have been November.
November. Oh my god, I don't even know.
Yeah, I think
Was
it was like
that
right
far?
after Halloween.
It was. Oh, I can't believe I can't even remember that when it was. So like a year. I can't believe a year has gone by. A whole year. It doesn't feel like it. I really haven't seen many people except for my close family. So I don't know if you. I know you. What about you? Have you been able to at least see some of your close family, or do you have to see them on here? Or like my extended family? Haven't seen. I haven't seen the extended family at all.
Oh yeah, I've seen my close family, and the only other person I've seen is my boyfriend, I think. Or I've seen like a friend or two, but it's been like very it's been like at a restaurant or something, wearing masks or sitting 6 feet apart or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's been like. But yeah, it's been strange. But a whole year, crazy. But yeah, so you have this film, and I mean, you did a lot of films, a lot of different types of films. What do you prefer? You got comedy, you got horror, you got drama. What do you like to do the most? Can you pick something?
Like as an actor, or
yeah, what I guess what's your favorite? Like not like you're best at doing this, but what's your favorite genre to act in? So it's a little different.
Right. Probably, honestly, either comedy or horror, I think.
Yeah. Do you like to play like the bad person?
I have fun playing the bad person sometimes, but I have a really great horror scream that I like using too. So yeah. I like being the victim sometimes too, just because I think that I feel like when I can be like fully like immersed in the character, I can really sell or not sell. I don't want to think of it in terms of selling. Now I'm talking like a filmmaker rather than like an actor right now, but like I
Well,
just
sell
feel like,
yourself. Yeah.
well, I feel like when I'm talking about acting, I should be talking about it like in terms of my process, not in terms of
Mhm.
like what the audience is experiencing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I think I do a good job with showing fear. Um, I I just feel like I can tap into that well.
Yeah.
So I think that that's fun, and I don't ever actually get scared like deep, not deep down inside. You know what I mean? Like there's this
Yeah.
certain amount of safety that I think is necessary on any film set, no matter what the content is. So like even though I feel scared in character, like deep down inside, Yesi knows that Yesi is safe.
Yeah.
So
Like even if we go way back to when we first met you and we did the Outbreak movies and that intense scene in the shot where you have the gun and that's an intense scene. That scene, that one scene there is pretty creepy with the gun and you're sitting there. That's
right,
pretty cool. You know, that's just, it hits you. That's a cool moment. I mean, you're very emotional right there. And
yes.
then you did the student film and you were pretty mean. Your character mean
I
and
was
tough and
seductive.
seductive. So that
Yeah.
was fun. That was fun. I wish we could have done more and did it differently and did more and expand on that character because it was pretty cool character.
Yeah,
So
honestly, I remember when Larry was first telling me about that script, I totally thought that you were going to put more emphasis on following that character's journey because I was very
should have.
interested in what that character's journey was. And then it didn't go that way, but I was like, okay, that's
It was
fine.
just it was just fun to do something. That was the time where we were like, let's do something. And I wrote it in like at Buffalo Wild Wings. But I had it. It was
Hey, I won
the
an acting
character.
award for that one.
Yes, he did. Yeah, they got noms and acting, so it went all acting, right? It was great, but it was in my head, and then I wanted to show Angelo who this is how it's done. This is how we do it, the process. So it was kind of fun, and it was a crazy day because we're outside and all that noise. So it was just funny dealing with all that, with all that noise, and it came out a lot of fun. That was just a fun project, so we had a good time,
It was fun.
and
I had fun with that
so,
too, for sure. I
but
would
we
be
always thought,
interested in
like
seeing
Larry
what
and I,
else
like we
that
thought
character
about.
does with her life.
I had a whole huge story because I did have that kind of story in my head for some reason before I sat down and wrote it. I had the whole thing. I mean, I got stories in my head that I could just sit down and write like in an hour or two, but I just sometimes I can't. But it's there. It's in my head. So I got it. I
I
just
feel like I
can't.
used to do that more before, and now
Yeah.
after I've learned more about like about script structure, I
Yeah.
get so meticulous sometimes that
Mm,
I'm like going back, I'm doing rewrites. I'm doing rewrites to this part. I'm changing this
yeah.
detail. I'm changing that. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's you got to keep rewriting. I blurt it all out on the paper first, and then I have to cut it and do all that. But I just have to say my whole story. That's why when I was younger and I did my second film, I had this feature in my mind, and it was about my life and all that stuff. So I put it down, and it turned out to be 37 minutes of a short film, which is like wait, like nowadays it'd be like no freaking way, right? So, um, but it was a good story, and we cut it up. It should have been a feature, but it was a good story, and it flowed. And just wish we were better filmmakers then.
Right. Yeah,
But
I'm working
but you
on
learn,
two
right?
full-length scripts right now, and I feel like I can't ever just sit down and write it in one go. I have outlines that I
Mm,
reference constantly, and then I
yeah.
discover something while I'm writing it, and I have to go back and change the outline to make sure all the details connect. And
Mm,
then I'm like, just I need to take breaks, especially with a feature length film. It's that's a lot of pages to write, and if
that
you
is a
want it
lot.
to like sound clear and you want to make sure your characters have like different stories, that you're keeping track of the details, that you're being like a smart writer, I feel like sometimes it requires to like take breaks, walk away from it, get back to it, walk away from it, get back to it.
And you gotta have that beginning because people reading that script, they need to be hooked in the beginning. So you need something. That's hard to
Right, so
do.
I mean,
It's
you
hard.
can only have a really strong beginning if you already know like everything you want to
Mm,
tie in by the end, because then you
yeah,
can set up your ending in the beginning.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I always found that to be the toughest thing. How do you sell it? How do you get them to read it and keep going? Not easy. That's probably one of the toughest things, I think. And then ending it. How many, like, everyone always has like 3, 4, or 5 different endings. You never know. How are we gonna end this thing? But they even shoot it. Sometimes these films, they even shoot like 2 or 3 different endings all the time.
Really?
Clerks had different endings. If you watch the movie Clerks and you see it, how it ends, they say you're closed and that's it, and they're able to have sequels. In the original, they filmed it, Dante gets shot and killed.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so it's there. It's on the DVD specials. It's there. They filmed it. So that was totally changed, and that was going to be the film, but they told him to not do that. The movie's depressing as is for certain times. You don't want to kill the main character at the very end. The audience will be pissed at you. So
Sometimes that's good.
yeah, sometimes it's good. Like if you've seen, I was telling the kids the other day, if you ever, they never seen the movie Seven. Have you seen the movie Seven?
7.
It's very disturbing. But the ending is the ending's ridiculous. It's like you hate the ending so much that it's so good, but you hate it. Like you're so angry. There's a couple of movies like that. You're so angry at the end that you're like, oh. But that was one.
Because it's so good.
It's so good. And you think about it, like you hate it in the beginning, and you think about it, like that was amazing. And there was another film I was talking about that. Oh, The Mist. If you ever seen, Stephen King wrote The Mist in this book. It was a little part. They made it into a feature film, which I always thought would be great. They changed the ending of the book of Stephen King's book. They changed it completely. And I was so angry when I first saw it. I was so angry because it was so disturbing. And then I thought about it. I'm like, that's the best ending they could ever do, ever.
Do you
and so
like
what?
Endings?
I guess I like disturbing endings when you think about it. But you're angry at first.
That's why you like my film.
Probably, because I expect it to be how the ending was. I didn't, you don't expect that, and I like that. I think I don't like. I get angry for a bit, and then I'm like, but I didn't expect that, and it got me. Wasn't even thinking about it, and that's when I think, oh my god, that film just totally did a 180 on me. It was not. I think I can figure it out. I've seen so many movies like, oh, they're going to go this way, and they totally don't. I love that. I love when they can mess with my head, and that makes a good movie in my mind.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that if you when I start watching a movie and I can predict every single thing that's going to happen, that I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm not engaged at all.
It's like every 80s romantic comedy.
I mean, I love rom-coms though.
Yeah, they're fun. You gotta, but I guess you gotta know they're gonna end nice. But I like the ones that don't end nice. But
you go into a rom-com knowing that you're gonna get a feel-good ending.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's why you watch that kind of movie.
Unless you get one of those dramas where like the girl or the guy die at the end of the movie, and you're like, what? You ever see any of those?
Which movie?
There's a bunch of them where they Heaven on Earth was one. There was another one with Mandy Moore where she freaking dies in the end.
Oh,
they fall in love. Oh yeah, they fell, and then she dies. You're like, what?
I love that movie. It's so heart-wrenching.
But I guess that's that could happen.
Favorite movies.
It's good, but it has like that ending. Like, doesn't it angry you a little bit?
I cry every time.
There was a movie, exactly the same movie. So I guess during Hollywood that time, they were having scripts similar. Heaven on Earth, same thing. Soli Sobeski, that actress, and Chris Klein, same thing. They hate each other. They fall in love. She dies. Same exact storyline. It was like a thing in that I guess mid-90s.
Right.
Mid-90s.
Yeah.
Every movie was like that. Cruel Intentions.
I don't remember Cruel Intentions. I did watch it, but it's been a long time. I don't remember how it ends.
I'm like giving everyone all these endings to the movies. And that one, they flipped the script where the guy gets killed. So it's been a minute
since I saw that film.
Yeah.
I think I watched it on Netflix one late night.
It's good. It's a good film, but it's a long time. Yeah, it's one of those. But it was good. It was a good film, well acted, and all their careers went pretty well. So, but yeah, they just flipped this. It was the same time as all those other movies, and they just flipped the script to the guy. So I guess that was the thing back then.
They're like, what happens if you fall in love and the person dies?
Yeah, and lets every company steal that idea. That's kind of how it does it. That happens a
Well,
lot.
that's
Like,
like when everybody was into vampires, or when everybody was
yes,
into like werewolves, or
now
whatever.
zombies is the thing now.
Zombies.
But I remember
You
the
guys
same
jumped on
time.
that train.
Yeah, I did. I'm obsessed with zombies. I love them. I don't know why. I never did before all this,
I
but now
couldn't stand. Did you ever see that? What's the name of that Drew Barrymore?
Oh, the show.
The show, yeah, where she's
Yeah, it's
like a
weird.
zombie and she eats things.
Yeah, that was a little weird, but the acting is
I watched
so
like
good.
a portion of one and I was like, I
Yeah.
can't stomach this. There's no way I can do this.
Their acting ability on the show, her and her husband are amazing, and it was great. But yeah, it was a little weird. But
I couldn't
Walking
do it.
Dead,
I couldn't get behind it.
The Walking Dead though, that was they just so good, so good. But I just watched an episode the other night with 3 actors, the whole hour, 3 actors, unbelievable, so good, so well done. It just reminded me of when we did the Lowry movies. There's a couple of us and we're talking a lot, and then there's a zombie thing going on. That's kind of how it was. There's zombies out there, but it's just 3 people in a room. That's it. And it's a whole hour and it really intense, like so intense. It's crazy. It went from
Was
like
that a studio film or an indie
yeah, so
film?
Walking Dead. It was a Walking Dead episode last week. They're
Oh,
making they made 6 extended episodes and they're really good. They're like movies, but they're because of COVID, they wrote these scripts for less actors, and they're taking a couple of them and putting them in these situations, and they're amazing. It's a great idea. It works so well. So it was just all 3 actors phenomenal. So I was so impressed. I was like, it was all about the acting in that episode and the writing. The writing was amazing. They went from laughing and comedy to getting drunk to like Russian roulette. They're lost. They don't know where they are. They're mad. Like it was crazy. Everything in one episode.
sounds
So
like an adventure.
that's great work. That's great acting. Great film work. It was pretty impressive. So anyway, so we've done zombie stuff, we've done horror, we've done everything pretty much at this point, right? What is something that you haven't done that you want to do?
Something that I
Any
haven't done that I want to do.
any genre of film or any kind of different position working in film or TV or
Right. I think at some point I would like to act in like maybe some sci-fi.
no, you haven't really done sci-fi. That's tough, right?
Yeah. I think I'd like to do some sci-fi.
Mm.
I would like to maybe I don't know, I think I'd be interested in maybe like writing something for like an animation.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, those are just
I always wanted to voice an animation. So you write an animation, we get an someone that can draw, and I want to do a voice. That's my dream. Voice a character. That's next on my list. So that's what I want to do. Voice a cartoon character.
I mean, I'm really like into watching anime. I probably watch anime more than I watch like regular.
Really? How is that? I don't really get into the anime. Is it good?
Really? It's a lot of fun. It's like a lot of really fun stories. It's a lot of great like character archetypes placed in a lot of really crazy situations. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's sometimes it feels more exciting than like regular TV.
No?
I feel like it's more imaginative. It branches out a lot more. Sometimes I get kind of like bored of seeing the same kinds of stories.
Where can you see that kind of stuff? Is it on television, or do you have to go to like Netflix, or is it on?
When I watch like anime, you can watch it on Netflix. There's some on Hulu. There's also a website called Verve, which is VRV, which is like an anime website.
Oh.
There's like a couple of different ways to see it, but yeah, it's everywhere.
That'd be cool if you get to do a voice and become, or they make an anime character out of you. Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be fun.
And then you get to voice. We did work. We've worked with people that actually do voices for that. And I was always like, how do you get that? I want that. I want to do a voice. I don't care what it is. I want to be a cartoon voice. So I have here. Let's see if I can bring these up here for everyone to see. Let's see if I get the first one here. We have your Oh, so I'm looking and we have some comments on there. Ming, Larry, they're all commenting. I didn't even look at the live comments on there. So we have some comments there. Ming saying nice hat. Notice me is the March 2021 Bright Side that was postponed to August. So it'll play in August. So it'll be alive. It'll be there. And then he said November 13th was, I guess, the date that we watched it on the big screen.
Larry, giving specifics.
He's got it. He's on it. He's on it, right? He's got it. He's got it down. So if we want to see your stuff, we got it right here. What do we got on that page there? There you go. So we have resume. Do you have everything on that site where you could click on? Do you have?
So I have, yeah, on this website, I have my resume. I have, I need to update my headshots because I changed my hair. I have like my older headshots. I have like promo shots, modeling shots. I have my most updated acting reel, although I have some work that I've done in the last year or so that I don't have footage for yet. So like the acting reel before I get all that footage.
How many times do you have to switch that? Do you just keep updating an acting reel from like the old one? You just keep putting new stuff on and taking older stuff off. How do you?
Yeah, pretty much. I do have an editor that I work with for my acting reel. So like I work with Jessica Green. I don't know if you know her, but I think you do know her. But yeah, I work with Jessica Green, and so like it's kind of like we look for a certain kind of flow in the reel itself. So like when I get new footage, I send it to her, and she will update my reel, and we'll kind of figure out like which of the older stuff should like now exit to make room for like some of the newer stuff that's maybe more relevant or more in line with like the kind of work I want to do moving forward. But I have done a lot of different kinds of work, so it's kind of cool to have a lot of variety in there as well.
Do you change it for certain roles too? Can you change it for certain roles? So like if there's like a dramatic role, do you put all drama pieces and send them that one? Or if you were doing a comedy and you have some comedy stuff, do you send them all comedy, or it doesn't matter? You just send them what you have?
Oh, you mean like in terms of like creating like a drama reel versus a comedy reel?
Yeah. So like, what if they give you an audition for a dramatic film? This is the part that we want you, and they want to see it. Do you change it to make all drama, or does it not matter? You just put whatever is on the reel to them. I'm not sure. I don't know. You froze up. You froze up. Yeah, oh, there you go.
Okay. So I generally have one reel that I use, but I also have different clips from different things that I've done. So if they specifically want to see only comedy clips, I don't have a specific comedy reel. My reel is a compilation of all of my best work. So if they want to just see my work in general, I'll send them my reel. If they specifically want to see like comedy clips or horror clips or drama clips, then I have those kind of separated off, and I'll just send them those individually, separately.
That's pretty cool. I always thought about that. I'm like, what if like American Pie wants you in this movie? We want to see your comedy stuff. And you have to just send them all that. So I wasn't sure. Or if you just send everything and they're like, oh, so they know you can act in everything. So this is something I never even thought about.
On my website, I also have it's like a very basic reel, but I have like one of my roles that I played that was only in Spanish on there as well, so that if somebody wants to see me act in Spanish, that's the only one that I have right now. Because the other ones, some of the other Spanish films that I've done, I still spoke English in.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I would speak in Spanish when I was communicating with the director and the crew and everybody else, but then it was like they wanted me to speak English in my role because it was an English-speaking character.
Yeah. Well, the best is I've seen you in English-speaking films speaking Spanish sometimes.
Yeah, I do that too.
When you get angry, like that, what was it, Scooby-Doo one? Didn't you speak Spanish in that?
Gang.
Like all of a sudden you start speaking Spanish really fast, and I was cracking up at that. Like you were like angry and you're speaking Spanish really fast. I like that. That was funny.
It's a gag people tend to like. I've had to do it many times.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why people like that.
If you remember in the Holy Cleanse, I don't remember if you remember the Holy Cleanse, but I prayed in Spanish in the Holy Cleanse.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah. Absolutely. I remember that. Yeah. Wow, there's so many films. Check out to see some of your films and some of your stuff. Go to your IMDb page right there. So anyone can check that out and see as many things as you've done, produced, written, acted in. So there's quite a bit. I mean, that page is probably huge right now, right? Got so many stuff on it.
I mean, it's pretty decent. Not everything that I've done is up there, but there's
Yeah,
a good amount of it that is.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I've seen you in a lot of stuff, so I know it just keeps going down, down, down. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. So that's good. That's a good thing. And then you have your Instagram there. So if anyone wants to check that out, so
Yep.
those are the big sites. And
Follow
do you
me on
have this?
Instagram. That's like the social media that I use the most. So if people want to like engage with me and like keep up with what I'm doing, that's usually like my first place that I go to post something. I'm not on Facebook that much.
Mm,
Like I keep Facebook very casual, but
yeah,
I definitely post a lot more on my Instagram.
I'm still a Facebook guy, but I'm learning Instagram, and a lot of people in the entertainment industry are moving to Instagram. So I'm learning. I'm getting there,
Got to keep
but
up with the times.
got to keep up. I'm trying. The kids got me on TikTok now. Just started, and you don't see me on it. It's just like we were doing animation TikToks. So it's a big hit. It's so funny. The kids love it. I guess they spread the news, and we got so many hits on the stupid TikTok page. But we're just having fun with it, playing with this. There's all these effects and stuff, so it's just fun. It's not like I haven't sitting there dancing or anything.
Oh, that's too bad. I'd like to see that.
I won't do that. I did that once on one of the kids' TikToks maybe last year, thinking, "Oh, this is gonna go viral." Nothing. Nobody watched it. Ming, on the other hand, Ming did one with the kids, and everybody watches that one. They like to watch Ming dance. Me, forget it. But what are you gonna do? I did a music video. A kid did a music video, and he put me in it, and I'm jumping around to this rap song. He just said the rap song wasn't on. I just jumped around. I'm dancing around real quick, and then I look into the camera. He put me on, and it's got a lot of hits. It's so funny. I'm like, really? The kids love it for some reason. They're like, Cullen's doing some rap.
That's funny.
Like,
I posted onto my Instagram a music video dance that I did like 2 years ago or something, maybe 3 years ago now. I don't know,
yeah.
but I decided I've been reformatting my Instagram page for a while. It was like just kind of a lot of random stuff. Then I kind of like you can archive on Instagram, so you can like hide old posts without deleting them. So for a while, I was like making it more modeling based, and then I was like, I don't want to make it more modeling based. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna put more acting stuff in, and then but you also have to think about what it looks like because it needs to be visually appealing, and there's just so much that goes into that. But I've decided I'm going to like repost some like older things that I did that were fun, and I think that communicate what kind of artist I am. Because I think that a lot of the people who are following me now weren't following me when I would have posted it in the past. So it's good to show people like all of the different things you can do and all the different things you like to do. And I'm multifaceted, so
yeah, absolutely. So what is next for you right now? What is next for you? What are you working on right now?
Oh, right now. Okay. I have a couple of things I'm working on right now. I've been recording a lot of music.
Really? Wow.
Yes, I've been recording music, writing music.
So I know you sing it. You sing it, but you develop when you do that. You develop all the music to play too. I don't know how you go about that.
It depends. It depends. One of the songs. So I'm working with somebody where we're in talks of like producing an EP. One of the songs that we have so far that we're working on is he's doing the composition and I'm doing like the singing and the songwriting. He's doing the arrangement and the composition. I'm doing the songwriting. Yeah. And then we're doing kind of like our version of a cover of an existing song where we're like switching up harmonies and adding our own flair to it. And then I don't know what else we're gonna decide to do for the rest of the songs. It probably is going to between those two things. So that's one major thing that I'm working on. I have like a couple of modeling collaborations with other models and photographers on standby right now. I have a few scripts that I'm finishing. I have one script that's about to be pitched to networks, and hopefully that goes well. and that's with like a team of people that I work with. And then I have Rivera, which we filmed 6 episodes, and that's also being pitched to different networks. And then what else do I have going on?
How is
I'm doing a reading next week, a play reading next week.
Online like this?
Yes, online. And I will make sure I have better internet connection, hopefully, for that one.
Yeah, just blame this storm. But so your film Complexity, it was going and a lot of fast, and then did you have an end run to it before COVID, or did it play during COVID, or is it still waiting to keep going?
It did play during COVID. I think so there was like some festivals that we got into that like postponed, and so I'm not sure what's happening with those because I haven't heard back from them yet.
Yeah.
But like there's a couple of festivals that we got into that, like, as far as I know, never happened. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna get like some kind of correspondence about that in the near future.
Yeah.
But so I'm kind of just waiting to see what happens. I feel like I've tried to practice some grace with the festivals during COVID, in light of COVID.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm starting to get messages now.
And then we'll see what Notice Me does. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So apparently it's going to be in the August version. So Brightside in Jersey City. So we are planning on having it fully there for that. So we could extend the days. We could have less people in each room, whatever we have to do. But if we have to do 4 days or play things twice, we'll do it. Summer. Might as well, right?
Oh wait, and then on the acting front, I have a couple of collaborators I've worked with in the past that are like finalizing scripts that they told me they want me to act in, but I haven't reviewed those scripts yet. But there's just a lot of stuff that's like in the air, and I think it's all going to depend on what happens with COVID moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's a lot of good stuff going on. So just keep busy, keep at it. And hopefully I'll get to see you soon at a live thing instead of in a box here. So,
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. And then again, maybe you'll have to interview. No lag, yeah. So maybe I'll have to interview you for one of these festivals coming up. So we'll have to do that again. We'll do it again on just focusing on that particular film and things like that. So, but I wanted to have you on and talk about everything.
As long as we schedule it.
Yeah, so it seemed to work out. It was great, and this is a little different. So not the interview thing or the other show that we used to do, which is Cullen on Film and episode 62. So it's been quite a bit. It's been 1 year, 62 episodes. So
that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks. I started the YouTube a little too late there, but it's going now, so people can watch this on YouTube anytime you want. And of course, the Facebook does very well. And I try to advertise everything. I wonder if can you do this on Instagram too, or now it won't go too long like this, right?
There is Instagram Live, but I don't know if you can connect it to this particular streaming.
Yeah, they might. Then that's something that they might be working on, because StreamYard here, these guys, they put it together about I don't know how long ago, but not too long ago, the company sold for $1 billion. So someone bought them out for $1 billion, and they still work for the company and keep making it better and better and better. So that's why I really like it. And it works very well for podcasting, and we use it for shared universe all over the place. So never really have any trouble with it unless I'm hitting wrong buttons. But other than that, no real issues with the StreamYard itself. So it's pretty cool. So definitely recommend it to people to use.
Good.
Yeah. So thanks for joining me tonight, and let me get to this little thing here. And do you have any final words, anything that you want to promote that we missed that you want to say?
Nothing specific that I could think of, but this was a lot of fun. If there's any filmmakers in the audience and you want to talk and work together, please reach out to me. I love meeting new filmmakers, and we can't really do that in person as much anymore. So I am very much down to hear from other collaborators. I am always looking to make new work. If you are going to contact me, please let it be about filmmaking and not about any personal interests.
There you go. There you go.
Keep things professional. Other than that, thank you so much for having me, Chris. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. So I'm going to hit the button here, and that's episode 62. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me once again.
Let's see if this works.